Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and doing another Aether Revolt Intermediate Swiss Draft League. If you like the content on this channel, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Alright, Aether Tide Whale. This card's awesome. 6 mana, 6/4 flyer, comes in, gives you energy, and then you can even protect itself. I guess there is a little grace period where they can kill it, huh? Without, like, when it's on the stack, you're getting the energy, they can just kill it. So if they have instant speed removal, they can deal with it. Otherwise, pretty awesome. So let's take the whale. Taking it over Poisoner, Swooper, Bandar, Automatons. Let's take it. Following up with, well, we can stay on color with the Trophy Mage. That kind of makes sense. We'll find some 3-mana artifacts, in which case this card is good value. There's a Revolutionary in here, which is very strong. There's also a Chandra's Revolution, which is very good. Red-blue artifacty things is a thing, but there's also blue-black. So I think it's worth staying on color here, especially with a value card like Trophy Mage. Like I said, pretty high chance that we're going to see some 3-mana artifacts. We'll probably wheel this Implement, as a matter of fact. So let's just take the Mage. Okay, well, I'm a big fan of the Bastion Inventor. There's also a Tezzeret's Touch. This could potentially be the right deck for Tezzeret's Touch. It's also a Poisoner for that same thing. Probably just take the Inventor. Solid card. Plenty of artifacts in these in just blue. So let's take it. I like it. Swooper's a nice pickup for us. There's also a Felidar Guardian, which is good. A Cavalry, which is good. But we're going to go Swooper here. We're going to swoop. Works with our Inventor. A Flyer. It's just good. So there's Prey Upon. Cogwork Assembler is cool. It's a cheap artifact. It does good value in the late game. There's Servo Schematic. It's also findable off Trophy Mage, which is important. We have Shipwreck Moray, which I guess is cool with the Whale. We're going to take the Assembler. This card's been very good. Deceptively powerful. Okay, so choices here. Nothing too spicy. Might be actually the Brawler. I mean, Shipwreck Moray I can just take and still stay on color. That's probably correct, actually. Shipwreck Moray is just fine. No reason to branch into a second color yet. Brawler is pretty good. This is a good color combination, and the Improvise does seem to make sense with blue most of the time. But Shipwreck Moray is just good, so I'd probably just take it. Well, Felidar Guardian is cool. There's some pretty excellent synergies you can find with it, right? Like Trophy Mage, I guess you can get a million more. I don't really like blue-white skies in this format. I feel like it lacks synergy. That's my main issue with that archetype. There's not like actual synergy with that deck, which have been my least favorite archetypes in this format. Have been the ones with no synergy. This is really just a synergy-based format. I guess I'll take the Implement. Oh, let's see. Another Moray, an Assembler. A Herder. Take a second Moray. Okay, Efficient Construction. Let's try and make this deck again. It's pretty fun. It's a cool deck. Most people hate this card. Understandably. Could take the Aeronaut here. Potential we go blue-black. Okay. Blue-black artifacts is a thing. Alright, Ice Over. There's a Requisitioner, which I guess works with our Implement, but this card's pretty bad on the whole. Ice Over, since we have no removal, kind of makes sense to me. Okay, some red cards. I guess we'll take a Sailback. Okay, Prowler is playable. Consulate Turret, pretty interesting in a deck with double Shipwreck Moray and Aether Tide Whale. You can technically just ping your opponent to death, but whatever. I think we'll see another turret, and if we don't, I'm really not that upset about it. So I like the Efficient Construction. The one time I played it, I was way more impressed than I expected it to be. Okay, so there's Shielded Thief. Rishkar's expertise is very strong. There's a Skyship Plunder, Map, Leaving the Dust, Daring Demolition, all sorts of goodies in here. Probably just want the Aether Thief. I think in this deck in particular, we have the chance to draw a bunch of cards. It's a good blocker too. And we've got a good late game plan, right? Whale, Construction. So let's take the Aether Thief and continue to see what we can do. All right. Aeronaut is good. I really didn't want to play this archetype, though. We could take the Aether Chaser. It's more payoff for energy. Maybe blue-red is what we can do. We did see some late red, right? Yeah, we saw the sailback. Still an option. We can be blue-red. No good blue pick worth taking here. Another Murray, but we wheeled it last time, so I don't see why not try again. Same reason I don't want to play the Aeronaut. Because I don't think blue-white flyers is an archetype I'm really a big fan of. There's Mobile Garrison as well, though, so we don't have to dip into red. It's an artifact for our improvise. It works with construction. This spits out... You have to cast an artifact spell, I guess, for construction, though, don't you? Maybe we do want the Garrison for that reason. Aether Chaser is very good, though. It's not like we're committed to any other color, really. I mean, technically, I guess we could go mono blue. Not that I've ever done that. I guess we'll take the Garrison. Aether Chaser might be a reason to go red, but I'm not 100% on that. Trophy Mage, Yahenni. Yahenni's cool. What does Yahenni do in this deck, though, if I play black? It's good with Filigree Crawler. I mean, we have plenty of 3-mana artifacts, which makes the Trophy Mage a little bit sexier to me. Good on 4 drops already. Yahenni. What do I think of Yahenni? We're not beat down, so it's a little bit worse, but we're not going to be able to kill their guys too easily either, because we don't have like spot removal that removes their stuff from the board. It does make it a little bit less sexy. But double Trophy Mage can be, well, it just, I mean, we have three drops that it could be good. I'm going to go Yahenni anyway. Maybe we wheel the Trophy Mage. Probably not, though. All right, Poisoner is a great pickup for us now. So there's also Tezzeret's Touch. Great on an Implement. Don't have a ton of other... We actually need more artifact cards for efficient construction. I could just take the Touch, I guess, and presume it's going to work. I actually think I like Poisoner more. Touch is good, but... I'm going to take the Poisoner. We've got more of this energy sub-theme going, so it makes more sense to me. There's also Dark Intimations, but I'm not going to take it. Ooh, all the Poisoners is good. Yeah, Poisoner number 2. We'll take over the Crusher, the Murray, the Automaton. Sure. Okay, so another efficient construction. What's our artifact count currently? We need actual artifact spells. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is very, very light. Very, very light. Could take the Resourceful Return, though. It has more synergy in the deck because we make artifacts with the Swooper and the Poisoners. Efficient Construction is not going to get in the deck if we don't end up with the artifact, the requisite artifact count. We don't have +1/+1 counters in this deck, do we? No. So, well, I guess Yahenni and Aeronaut, but I'm not entirely convinced that's what we should be going for. Could take a Garrison number 2. Probably just want the Automaton, I guess. Automaton works with our construction still. It's another artifact. I still want to live the dream, the quote-unquote dream, in parentheses, of playing efficient construction. So I could take Hinterland Drake. I think that makes sense. A good flyer. It's not synergistic with our deck necessarily, but it does fly. We have pretty good ground blockers. There's a Fen Hauler too, which kind of has synergy with our deck, but I think Drake is probably a little more consistent. Otherwise, we could take a Guard or an Automaton, but we'll go Drake. Okay, Automaton number 2, or the Fen Hauler now. So, I mean, I like augmenting Automaton well enough. Kind of makes sense for our deck, especially if I want to make the construction work. Okay, I convinced myself. So Foundry Assembler now starts to make more sense too. There's also a Leaving the Dust, but I'll take the Assembler. Okay, get the Fen Hauler anyway. We'll take it over the 3rd Murray. Okay, now we can take, well, we can take Implement, but we might want the Return, actually. Good chance we have artifacts. We want to get our whale back if it dies. I love Resourceful Return anyway. So Sly Requisitioner works with automatons, Symbler, Implement, Garrison. It's 5, 6, 7. I don't need these other 2 cards. We'll consider it. Well, I'm willing to play all of the automatons because we have enough. We at least have a few improvised cards at this point. 4, as a matter of fact. And we have enough synergies with Automaton, like a Fishing Instruction Automaton. We're starting to get there, actually. I think a Fishing Instruction is going to be able to make the deck, which is good news for people that are interested in it, bad news for people that think it's terrible. And I can't even necessarily disagree with you that it's not terrible, but I just like it, I guess. There's a Minister. You know, what's funny is Minister is actually pretty reasonable in this deck. We have a lot of energy producers. So Minister is an option. I feel like it'll probably wheel. Could take the Prism. It helps our mana slightly. It's not great otherwise. It's basically helps pay for improvised stuff, so it's a little mana rock that draws. Maybe I just want the Inventor's Fair. We have enough artifacts to... What artifact card do we search for, though? We actually don't have a good one to search for, which makes that less interesting. So it's kind of a bunch of cards that I'm not sure. I'm super interested in all of them. I mean, Puzzle Knot's fine. It's more energy, which is good for us. It's an artifact. That's about it. The rare that... I'm not even sure Inventor's Fair is great for us, though. Taking up a land slot, too. It's a little bit tough. Maybe I will just go Minister. I feel like if we were going to play a Minister deck, this is it. And even though I could wheel it, I think we'll take it. So Aviator gives us some bodies. Die Young is some removal. Probably would prefer the Subtle Strike for the most part. Although, I guess in this deck we do have energy, so maybe Die Young is actually one of the few occasions where Die Young is better than Subtle Strike. That makes sense. Okay. We're removal light, so I think Die Young actually makes sense here. Puzzle Knot would be fine too. Aviator would also be pretty good. But we're gonna go Die Young. I like the Broker. No blue card worth taking and no other black card worth taking, so okay. Broker it is. So Malphus Squad gives us some stuff. Might want the Malfunction. We're still removal light, aren't we? Do we have Die Young, Ice Over? Okay, so Malfunction's gonna make the deck. Another Broker, another Squad, another Prism, but we'll take the Malfunction. Okay, Screecher's pretty good. We have enough artifacts to make that work. We do have a Garrison for this my old pal, Night Market Lookout, but we'll take the Screecher. Another Broker. Seems fine. So we can take the Puzzle Knot now, or a second Malfunction. If we take the second Malfunction, we have Ice Over, Die Young, Malfunction, Malfunction. They're a little bit clunky. But they do deal with everything. I'd probably take it. Could take the Crane here too, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We only have 8 artifact cards. Could miss. It also blocks well, though. And it flies. I'm going to take the Crane. Trade Winds. Okay. Probably don't need it, though. Puzzle Knot came back, so we can take it. Might play it. I don't really like Windrake, but we'll consider it. A lot of various cuts to make. I would probably run Revolutionary over Requisitioner if I wanted to run either. I might not want to run either, though. Fenhauler, Inventor, Whale, probably enough top end. So we can probably cut both of these. Assistant, I guess. Gonna have to cut a bunch of 3-drops. I love the brokers. I probably like the brokers more than Windrake, to be honest. Even though Windrake's evasive is just a pretty bad card in general, I think. We don't want to cut any of our 3-mana artifacts. Take this for sideboard. So we have 10 cards that work with efficient construction, but that would mean I have to cut basically a lot of other cards, which might be difficult to do, but I think we can figure it out. I might not run 2 Shipwreck Maraes. I do, well, then maybe I'm off the Minister plan too. I mean, Minister is cute, but unfortunately with Synergy, you really have to focus on it. Like, it is cool that Aethertide Whale and Minister can just kill people, but I think we got to cut a Marae. I think we're cutting an Aeronaut. We have to cut at least 6 more cards if I want to run 16 lands, which I'm fine with. So what else do we cut? Probably the brokers have to go. I think we got to focus on synergies. I'm not in love with it, but we have 22 creatures, so there is that. What's my removal? I have Die Young, Ice Over Malfunction, so I probably don't want to cut any more of those. Didn't want to cut any of my 3-drops for the Trophy Mage, but maybe I have to. Maybe I don't have to, but maybe I want to. But I don't want to cut artifacts. I don't want to cut artifacts, so I have to figure out other cards to cut, because I do kind of want to play the efficient construction. I know it's not great, I know, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I only have 9? I thought I had 10. Did I miscount? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? That's strange. I mean, 9's not a ton. I could ditch the construction plan. If I ditch construction, what else do I ditch? Maybe I don't need the triple automaton then, but the automaton's ramp to our 1, 2, 3, or 3 improvised guys. I could probably cut the Crawler at that point, though, because Crawler's not that great in this deck anyway. It's good with Yahenni, but not a great card in general. So maybe we just have to get off the construction plan. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I think I'm willing. We can probably cut an automaton then. Even though I want all the artifacts, our improvised guys still work fine with the Poisoner and the Swooper and stuff, so that's fine. I guess our Crane gets worse, but so what? Final cut. So Puzzle Knot works with Aether Thief, Minister, Swooper, Poisoners. I don't want to cut that. So I have to make one more cut. Could be the Marae. Marae has good synergy with Minister, but other than that, it's not something I feel like I necessarily need. The Minister can just win with Whale anyway. And we have, I mean, it's good with it is good with these guys too. Maybe I only want one Augmenting Automaton. It should be a creature that gets cut. Maybe the Crane can go, actually. Crane only has what? It's only got 7 things it can find now. It's a 1/3. It's fine. It's probably just not what I want, though. Probably. All right, we'll cut the Crane. Which is kind of sad that Crane gets cut, but I want my artifact count to be high for the Improvise. And it feels wrong to cut an automaton and keep the Crane, because then I'm down to like 6 main deck artifacts. Mobile Garrison admittedly is not great in this deck, but we can find it off the Trophy Mage, which I kind of like. This deck's not fantastic, but this is what we got. This is what we're going to run. So we probably do, what, 8-8 split? We technically need double blue, but we need both colors early, and these really require black to be good. So I think we are going to do an 8-8 split. So blue-black, sort of mediocre, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah. This is what we got. This is how we're running it. We'll see you round 1.